So this is a part of a bonus discussion. This is for people who have seen all of the show, or at least up until the Red John thing. So this part of the podcast assumes that you know that McAllister is eventually revealed as Red John. And people bring this topic up on the sub all the time. And they ask, oh, was he going to abduct her and make her his next victim? And every time this question comes up, I always say that I don't think so because it would have exposed him too much. It was the middle of the day. It was in a, I mean, it was on, I guess, a kind of deserted road, but at the same time, it's the road to a restaurant where there could have been people driving by at any point, and anyone could have seen him talking to her, especially since she's wearing such a noticeable dress. And it doesn't really fit his MO. He likes to go into their homes where he has privacy, right, to do what he wants to do. He's not really a kidnapper.
Right. Although they don't really go into his MO very much.
Yeah.
And we never really get a good look at what he does because they always have the victims covered.
Mm.
But yes, I would agree that it just comes across as really creepy, which I think they were going for that.
They were going for that, yeah.
Anyway.
To throw people off. But I mean, and so what we were talking about earlier in the podcast is that it was actually really interesting to watch the way McAllister acts around the family when they go do the notification. He looks genuinely empathetic and sad for the family. And I think this is probably just because at that point he didn't know that he was going to eventually be Red John. So maybe he was just playing a different part, a different kind of McAllister back then. But in hindsight, I mean, just going by the assumption that he is Red John, even back then, it was interesting to watch his performance then, and makes you wonder, like, could you also explain it as he's performing for Jane and Lisbon?
Right. And he hides himself very well. If you look at it that way.
Yeah, because I mean, he's kept himself hidden for a really long time. We eventually learned that Red John was killing for decades, right? So shaking hands becomes a thing later. Like Karin pointed out, they don't visibly shake hands. But I do joke about this a lot, that they shake hands at each other. When they're doing rock, paper, scissors, they're shaking their hands at each other. So they technically shake hands.
Very true.
But yeah, so like I said, we don't see McAllister after that road scene. So it's possible that they shook hands when they left or something, because...
Or could have been earlier before we see it come in too.
Yeah, so... Thanks for listening to our little bonus discussion on Rom-Com Detectives Episode 3.